What we are seeing is basically the same trend that has been registered over the years. We certainly in the report are indicating that from the early 1980s there has been an ongoing use of the land for farming, and that certainly has not really stopped. So what we have been able to document for this year, through overflights and also through ground recce, certainly the activity of farming is still ongoing on the western part of the border with Chiquibul. In average, around the year of 2006 to 2011, there was an average of milpa that were being used, approximately some 500 acres in average. The one that was being documented since last year and this year, there seems to be a decrease in that amount, but nevertheless we are still probably making an average of about 300 acres that are being lost in the Chiquibul annually. We still have not really done for the moment complete ground recce to look at the acreage, and that is still an exercise that we have to do. However, the report indicates that there's approximately some 90 to 92 of the areas that are considered to be cleared. And clearing does not really mean that there's milpa already in the zone, but we can suspect that those areas were being cleaned or cleared particularly for milpa cultivation. One of the key strategies that was developed from the early days when we started to operate in Chiquibul was basically the installation of conservation posts. In fact, one of the key strategies to address milpa farming is through the presence of authorities, the presence of rangers, enforcement, the BDF, police along that zone. So in 2008, when the first conservation post was placed in the area of Rio Blanco, that is the area that over the last 4 or 5 years we have seen a regeneration of the forest. In fact, that is one of the success stories in terms of conservation posts. Because of the military forces and police and rangers in that zone, there has been, perhaps about the only recovery that we can be able to see more distinctly in terms of the forest regeneration. And in that area, we are looking at about 225 hectares that is basically being recovered now. So, one of the areas where there's a lot of activities right now, which is the southern area of Cebara, that zone is where we are, and we have been trying to seek now a spot on where to put a conservation post, which would be the Cebara CP. However, it really has been really rigorous and hard really to identify the right location, even though after 3-4 recces that have been done in the area, but we're still hopeful that we'll be able to find the right and exact and precise place where to put the other one, but precisely to address the milpa in